Hello, and welcome to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. We bring you this show so we can highlight young people in our community and local organizations who are striving to make Philadelphia a better place. Our focus is our community's next generation of leaders. Today, we're talking with some of the Salle University students who volunteer with the University Ministry and Services offices, Focus organizations. Focus stands for Fellowship and Community and University Service. Focus includes outreach programs, advocacy groups, mentoring and tutoring programs, along with immersion programs that take students on service trips domestically and internationally. These programs all strive to serve others, promote social justice, and work toward a common good. On this episode, we'll talk to the student program coordinators from two groups, Neighborhood Tutoring and AIDS Outreach. With me to start off the program are the Salle Leaders Neighborhood Tutoring Program. Pooja Gandhi is a junior communication science and disorders major, and Jessica Griffith is a junior education major. Welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
Great. So how are you making out?
We're good. So we're from Neighborhood Tutoring, which, as you said, is one of the focus programs here at LaSalle University. We tutor and mentor children from the area like 4 days a week. And so we play games with them, have snack, help them with homework and things like that.
So how old are the students you tutor?
So we take students anywhere from grades K through 8. So we have quite a variety, elementary school and middle level as well.
So what type of programs do you tutor? Is it math, English, is it everything, or?
Yeah, it's everything, whatever the child needs help with. Because it's a variety of grades, we get a variety of subjects and things like that. So we help with whatever is needed by the child.
What schools are they from?
So we accept everyone from the community. So usually they're from like Logan Elementary School, Pinnell, or basically any like Philadelphia school that's in the area whose parents would like their child to participate in the program.
How do they find out? So I want my child to get tutored. How would I find out about your program?
So we do reach out to each of the schools in the area that we usually receive children from. We'll send messages to the principals, email them, offer to come to any back to school nights. We always have flyers circulating, and Sean, our advisor of our group, he will always be in contact with these schools as well, and you can always call UMass, the University Ministry and Service, and he will go ahead and add you to the list and we'll give them a call.
Great. How long have the two of you been involved?
We've been involved since freshman year. So it's been about 3 years.
Yeah, this is our third year.
So what made you decide to be a tutor? What kind of piqued your interest?
Okay. So I did a lot of service work in high school, and I really like working with children and things like that. So I was looking for an opportunity at LaSalle to get involved, and service was something that I was really passionate about. So I figured by joining something that was like neighborhood tutoring, it would be speaking to my interests with like helping with kids and like serving the community and things like that. And then I realized that I really liked it, and so I got more involved in it. And through that, I became one of the coordinators like Jess. And it's been a great experience so far.
Jessica?
I was also very interested in service as well when I came to LaSalle. One of the reasons I chose LaSalle was because they're so centered on service, and I really wanted to keep that component in my life as I continued into college. And being an education major, I actually have a field experience each year that kind of gets me more and more into the field working with children. So my freshman year, neighborhood tutoring was actually my field experience. It was required field work for my major, and I fell so in love with the program. I applied to be a coordinator, and now we've been here ever since.
So is it tough to become a coordinator, or do you automatically start out as a coordinator? How does that work out?
So you begin as a tutor, and in some cases you begin as a tutor but as an education major, so you'll be placed in the program, and then at the end of each semester, depending on our need, we will accept an application for coordinators, and then each of us, there are 6 of us now, will review the applications with our advisor as well and then select someone.
So what does that look like, a night of tutoring? Give me an example how it plays out. What does it start? How does it begin, the middle, the end? Give me a scenario.
So The students, so we're located in the library basement, which is right on the heart of campus. So it's very easy for parents to drop off their kids and for students to come tutor because it's like a central location. So they come running down the stairs with their book bags and then we have them sign in and then we sit down and then usually a child is paired with a single tutor from LaSalle and then they just work together on their homework, they talk about their day, things like that. And then after we take a little break, after they're finished their homework, we bring out like snack, we do games with them. So it's like a nice way to foster like a development of a positive relationship because we also work on like the mentoring aspect, which is very important with the program.
So are there any kind of requirements or special requirements from the students or the parents?
The only requirements, our tutors are all, they have their background checks, their child abuse clearances, all of that just to make sure that they're certified to work with children and parents feel comfortable sending their children. But for parents, it's cost-free. They can send their kids depending on whatever help they think they need. And the students, we just ask that they come. They don't miss more than 3. And that's
So
it.
say that again, the best part is it's free?
Yep, cost-free to the parents. And I actually had a parent yesterday, we started registration, and she came in and she was like, you're gonna have a handful with my daughter, she's in the 3rd grade and she's really struggling, and just goes on and on telling me about how much she needs this and how happy she was when she found something that was free that could help, really help her daughter.
That's true. When you think about some of these other programs like Huntington Valley, it can be very expensive, so this is a great service. So doing this community service, tell me what you think about your role as leaders in the community and how that plays a part with your tutoring.
I think that neighborhood tutoring has taught me a lot about myself and also the community. In terms of like personal growth, I've learned how to like work with others, like communicate better, like interact with the children better, and like just develop strategies like that. And then also it's helped me learn a lot about like the education system, which I think that is very important, especially in Philadelphia, like because you see the differences between where these children are coming from, and like because you've built like relationships with them, they open up to you, and you through that experience you almost gain a different perspective of things. And I think that that's one of the best parts of the program, is that through the interaction with the kids and like having a good time, like playing games, the students at LaSalle, they learn a lot about themselves, the community, and like the people that they're serving without like really realizing it. So it's like almost like you're learning so much while having fun, and I think that's one of the highlights of the program.
Great. Jessica?
As you said earlier, our focus groups really are centered on social justice issues, and obviously being a tutoring program, we focus a lot on education. So it's just really great to me that we get to really delve into that issue of education and what's good about it, what's bad about it, what are the problems, and how can we fix them. So I know obviously tutoring a few schools in the area doesn't really solve the education issue and the social justice issue that we are working with, but we are definitely making small steps and getting the little bit done that we can.
Well, I think you should be proud because every little bit counts. So like you said, every little step is a step in the right direction. And you're an education major, right?
Yes.
So what are some of the skill sets you're going to be able to take from tutoring into your career as a teacher?
Right, so I'm definitely learning a lot about how kids learn and how each child really is different. You have to look at the whole student, not just, oh, it's math, so let's do these multiplication problems. You have to see how they learn, and do they need manipulatives, do they need blocks that they can actually touch, or can they just do it right on paper? And also, being a tutor rather than a teacher, you kind of see a different side, and the children are more willing to open up to you. So I've had a lot of students tell me like, oh, I hate this about school, I really like this about school, so I'll definitely be able to take that into the field with me and understand more where the kids are coming from.
All right, I want each of you to share a story of someone you tutored and what the impact was on them being tutored.
All right, so this one girl that I've been working with for a while, she came into the program, she was a little shy, like most kids are. I mean, it's like expected, you know, you don't really know the people, you have to like connect with them a little bit. But then like over the course of the first semester, like when we were like working together, I got to know her, I got to know what she was involved in and like what she was struggling with. Like a lot of it was, she just had like days where she just wouldn't sometimes talk, and it was almost like there was like a mood difference before we could even try to get to the schoolwork. And I think that that's one thing that I've definitely learned, is that you have to address the outside issues before you can even work on like the school. Like sometimes we'd have like a snack like before we start hard because she
Yeah.
might be hungry like after school and things like that. But then like she started to open up. She told me about what was happening in school. She's being bullied a little bit.
Yeah.
So we like worked through it, and I think it helped like even me like having someone to like just talk to about that. And then so it turns out her grandma was also very involved with the program. And so she would ask her like how the day went, how she was doing, and things like that. And my favorite moment was so it was like time for like report cards to come around, and her grandma, she was like nudging her like, did you tell her like what happened? And like she was so shy about it, she like didn't want to, but she did really well in school.
Great.
And of course like it wasn't through the program. I think that it just helped her build some confidence and
Right.
almost like tapped into her own potential. So it was like through like talking, working things out, she gained the confidence she needed to like help herself kind of do well in school.
Yeah.
And now she's been with the program for like, well, I'm not sure if she was there before me, but we were just talking the other day because we just started the semester yesterday for tutoring, and she was saying she actually brought in, now she plays the cornet, which is like similar to the trumpet,
Right,
but I'd never heard of it. And she's like, yeah, I'm involved in this. She does a couple other like after school activities, so it's really cool to see how kids will grow through like a short amount of time through like just having like a positive relationship that helps them discover and like tap into their own potential.
Right. Jessica.
So I think my favorite experience so far, the very first kid that I tutored, he was an 8th grade student, so I haven't seen him since, but I was paired with him each time I came, and each time he would talk to me a little bit more, and like Pooja said, sometimes they are shy at first, but that's why we really try to keep tutors with the same child each time, because they do start to open up and they become really comfortable with you, and they'll tell you if anything's going on. But I tutored him in math each day. And at the end of the semester, I had his grandmother was like calling me and texting me if he needed any extra help, and I loved it. I was always happy to like get pictures of his homework and send a quick text to say, oh, like this is the first step, like see if he can take it from here, when tutoring wasn't happening that day. And at the very end of the semester, he brought in a game of chess, a chessboard, and he said, you've been teaching me so much about math all semester. I want to teach you something.
Wow.
Can I please teach you how to play chess? And that
That's
to
great.
me, it meant so much because I truly didn't know how to play chess. And also it really struck me how much I was able to impact him and help him with what he needed help with.
Great. So now you're a chess expert, right?
You know, I only learned that one day, but
Gotcha. Well, I want you to know that what you're both doing is great. LaSalle should be very proud of you as students representing your university, and keep up the good work.
thank you.
Thank you so much.
When we come right back, we're going to hear from the LaSalle student coordinators of the AIDS Outreach Program. Stay with us. Welcome back to Future Leaders in Philadelphia. I'm your host, Derek Sawyer. Today we're highlighting some of the service opportunities available to LaSalle University students. At the start of our show, we talked to the coordinators of the Neighborhood Tutoring Program. In this half, we're going to learn about AIDS outreach by talking to 2 student leaders. Please welcome Paul Rotzel, a junior chemistry major, and Abrielle Lawyer, a freshman communications major. Welcome to the show.
Happy to be here.
Great. So tell us a little bit about this AIDS outreach. What is that about?
AIDS Outreach is a program that focuses on educating and spreading awareness about the AIDS epidemic. Not many people know about it. It's something that's very swept under the rug. So we really work on educating people about it and working with people with AIDS. So one of our main group is we used to go to a place called Calcutta House where people lived there with, they were living with AIDS, and we got to socialize and like play card games and other games like that, and really just get to know them and form a relationship with them, and which was really impactful because you really get to like know the person, and then you also learn a lot from that person. And then hopefully our goal is to that people become educated, and so that the stigma will eventually end.
Right, right.
Yes, through building connections, you really gain a better understanding of their lives and the truth behind living with AIDS.
So what was your motivating factor to become an outreach coordinator for AIDS?
Well, I wasn't exposed to it in high school as much. I did service in high school, like soup kitchens and things like that. And someone had suggested to me that I go my freshman year to the Calcutta House.
Okay.
And so that was, as usual, people are hesitant about
Right,
that.
right,
A
right.
lot of people are. So I decided just to go for it. And I really, from there, the first night, I really had like a very impactful experience. Like, it was just amazing. It was nothing out of the ordinary. It was just like you got to meet these really amazing people and unique people and just get to know them and play card games with them. That's something so
right.
simple. But then as time went on, you got to really develop a relationship. And then you really got to think more about it, like why are these people, why are these people affected by this, and like why is there such a stigma around it?
Right.
And through the years that like you develop like an understanding of that, like you keep learning more, and then you keep trying to educate people. So I just wanted to get more involved personally because I've created such strong relationships there. I wanted to do as much as I could and try and like better the situation.
So for those people that don't know what the Calcutta House is, what is that? And how did that program actually get started or get linked to the university?
So actually, we've been going to the Calcutta House for LaSalle University has been going to the Calcutta House for a while now. I'm not really sure the exact time, but it's actually I think one of the longest outreach groups for LaSalle University.
Nice.
So it's honestly I'm not positive, but like they started the program and then it's just carried on because it's been such an impactful thing for students that people really get to develop a relationship there, and then people keep coming back. So.
What motivated you?
To become a coordinator?
Yes.
Well, actually, growing up, I had always received a false education about HIV and AIDS, and the education I received was actually taught in a way that stigmatized it.
Right.
So when I became more educated about the truth behind HIV and then people living with AIDS, it made me really devastated that there's such a stigma out there that is preventing people from, reaching out and volunteering and even educating themselves in general. So I wanted to do everything I could to promote better education and try to end the stigma, and then educate myself more through making relationships with people living with AIDS.
Got you. Salle Wellness, what is that?
So that's our new program this semester. We're decided to try something new. So basically, it's not residential like Calcutta House. It basically clients come in from all over the city, and it basically provides services for them, such as like group therapy and like massages. There's
nice.
a lot of different things that they offer that really interested us, and it came at the right time as well. So I went twice already, and we played bingo the last time, and they are just so
pizza.
Yeah,
and we
so
gave out prizes at the bingo. Like, it was just so much fun, and there was just such a positive energy there, and I can tell that this is going to be a great relationship between LaSalle and.
So what would you say the difference in the programs are?
The Calcutta
versus
Well, compared to my freshman year of Calcutta House, a lot of residents stopped coming down to socialize and interact with LaSalle students, and like some left. So as last semester, it was only a few residents coming down. So like, I mean, it wasn't as impactful, I feel like, for the volunteer. So at Siloam, there's a lot more clients there that are willing to interact and like socialize with our volunteers, which will basically be more beneficial for our volunteers and for the clients that are at Siloam. So, and hopefully we can bring like a positive vibe to it.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
So there's a climate out there that says that a lot of people aren't volunteering anymore. Volunteerism is down. So what motivated you two to become volunteers, and do you really think that volunteerism is down, or do you think that it's just people not aware of what's going on?
I think it's more so that people aren't aware, or so many people are like very restricted to the bubble they live in, such as like like LaSalle University is a bubble, like college campuses are bubbles. They don't really know about issues that are around the world. So like, I think, I'm not sure, I can't really tell if volunteerism is down or up, but I
not
think
in your mind.
in my mind, yes, because I'm surrounded by it
Gotcha.
every week. So, but I think like I mean, it really depends on the person because because I feel like people just need to find more of a connection to it, and then they'll be more welcoming to being volunteers.
Yeah, I
because
think there's a lack of education with it too.
yeah, that as well.
For volunteerism?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think, yeah, I agree that people are just not really aware that there's issues out there and that they just don't feel a connection to it,
Gotcha.
so they won't get involved with things like that.
Gotcha. So AIDS Thrift, what is that?
So AIDS Thrift is a thrift store. It's in Old City. I was one of my first, I went a lot freshman and sophomore years, and I love that.
Right.
I can't go these years, which is sad, but I went. So it's basically a thrift store, and all the like benefits they get from there, and all the money they raise there, it all goes to the AIDS Fund in Philadelphia. They provide several services such as free HIV testing and like. So basically what we do there is we just do whatever they need us to do. So sometimes you're like reorganizing the store, like straightening up a little. Other times you're tagging clothes to put up on the shelves or hanging up clothing. So it really depends on what you're doing. It really depends on the day and like what they need you to do.
Great.
So it's a very unique experience because you're really not sure what you're gonna do each time you go there.
Gabrielle, have you been there?
I haven't been there yet,
Not yet?
unfortunately.
Looking forward to
No,
it?
I've had class at that time, but I'm looking forward to it. I can't wait to go.
So how has being part of this program helped you grow as an individual and as a leader in your community?
Well, I think being part of this program has really made me realize that you need to become vocal about the things that you believe in, because if you aren't vocal about it, there's not going to be any way for people around you to get educated, and that you just really need to not suppress any passion you have for these programs, and you want to show everyone how much you care, because then they're going to want to join as well, and then they're going to want to become educated and get involved.
Well, for me, I think like it helps you grow as an individual because I'm nowhere where I was like freshman year compared to I am this year, because I mean freshman year like you go in with, oh, I just want to help somebody, but then you get to know the person, you develop a relationship, and then you want to become like why is this person suffering from the things they are, and then you want to try and like you want to collaborate with them and work with these people and really just try to like eliminate this issue that is happening, and a lot of it's education based too as well. So.
Well, how do you raise awareness? I know you're part of this program and you go to the Calcutta House and you do the AIDS Thrift and things like that, but how do you get outside of the community and actually raise awareness across the country, so to speak?
There's several different things we do. So we do World AIDS Week, which is a campus-wide thing that we have events all throughout the week. We sell T-shirts that say World AIDS Week on it, and with like witty phrases as well that says like getting to zero and things like that. So like zero stigma and zero virus and zero death. So like basically we try to raise awareness I went to the AIDS walk in the October as well. So it's just like things like that, the public events, and like being open to like learning about it, like reading about it and things like that. Then you hear about it, and then when you hear somebody talk about it, you can say like the input that you have, and then talk to them about it, and like hear what they have to say, but hear what tell them what, and like trying to like have them to learn about it as well.
So you both have a full course load, right? Full-time students. How do you balance that volunteering and student life? How difficult is that, and how do you get through that process?
Well, I don't think it's quite too difficult at all, because
Nice.
I actually use volunteering as a motivation to get my work done. I'm like, okay, if I get this done, then I know that I can go and I'll volunteer, and that's something for me to really look forward to, and it helps me manage my time better.
Great. Cool.
It is definitely a lot, especially with a full course load. But like
chemistry,
yeah,
quantum physics.
but it's all worth it when you get to see when you get to see everybody's bubbly face and like hear from them and like form the relationships that you do. You like think like, oh my gosh, like I'm taking 2 hours out of my day to go to this, or like 2 or 3 hours, and like you're like, how do I have time for this? But then when you go and then you get to like work with the people that you get to, it's like really like a very impactful experience, and it makes it worthwhile. That like even when you are super busy, that it's like it is worth it.
It's like an escape almost
Great.
from the schoolwork.
Well, again, I think you both are doing great work in the community.
Thank you.
You got great futures. And again, LaSalle University should be very proud of you as students. So thanks again, and keep up the good work.
Thank
you so much.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have today. I'd like to thank my guests from LaSalle Neighborhood Tutoring Program and LaSalle's AIDS Outreach Organization. If you would like to find out more about the student service programs at LaSalle, visit lasalle.edu and go to the Student Life section. I'm Derek Sawyer, and thank you for watching Future Leaders of Philadelphia, where we believe investing in our youth is investing in our future.